Hi students, in this video class I am going to teach de Broglie's hypothesis. So we know guys electromagnetic radiation. So first electromagnetic wave theory tells that electromagnetic radiation contains wave nature, and after that photoelectric effect, and next from the Planck's quantum theory and photoelectric effect, it has been proved that this radiation has particle nature also. So here this electromagnetic radiation contains dual nature. Electromagnetic radiation contains wave nature as well as particle nature. So right, similarly guys, here de Broglie stated that particles also, particles means electrons or protons or atoms or molecules, that kinds of things. So particles also contain two types of natures or dual nature. First one, they have wave nature and they have particle nature. Okay. So here he told that all moving particles contain wave nature. And this wave nature of the moving particle, wave nature of the moving particle depends on mass of the particle. And he has provided one equation also. That equation is lambda is equal to h by mv. So now where lambda is equal to a wavelength of a moving particle. If you take the electron, wavelength of the moving electron, Planck's constant, mass of the electron and velocity of the electron. So this equation has been derived from the Planck's quantum theory. And next one, Einstein mass energy relation. So let us see the derivation of this equation from both the concepts. So the derivation of this equation. So derivation. So first let us consider Planck's quantum theory. So from Planck's quantum theory, energy is equal to h nu. And next one, from the Einstein mass energy relation, energy is equal to mc square. Now we can equalize h nu and mc square, because this is equal to energy and mc square also equal to energy. Therefore from the equations we can write h nu is equal to mc square. Now you know guys, nu is equal to c by lambda. So instead of nu you can write c by lambda into mc square. Now here square and c will be cancelled, and you can write h into 1 by lambda is equal to mc square. Now this h send on right hand side and mc square, so that one bring on left hand side. Then it will be h by mc square is equal to lambda. So guys, c means velocity of the light for particles. So you can take c is equal to v. Now this equation you can write lambda is equal to h by mv. Square is cancelled already. That's it. So lambda is equal to h by mv. So now this one gives the wave nature of a moving particle. Lambda means wavelength of the moving particle. It may be electron. Planck's constant, the mass of the moving particle may be electron and its velocity. Right. So right, next one. So next one, guys, different forms of de Broglie's equation. Here relation with kinetic energy. You know, guys, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So now here, let me write the equation for the velocity from this one. So now you set 2 on this side. Then 2 ke is equal to m into v square. Now from this you can write v square is equal to 2 ke by m. And again v is equal to, we can take square root of 2 into ke by m. Now we know from the de Broglie's equation lambda is equal to h by mv. So now guys, this one let me write like this: 1 by v is equal to square root of m by 2 ke. Now from this equation we can write like this: lambda is equal to h by m into 1 by v. So instead of 1 by v, you can write this value: lambda is equal to h by m into square root of m by 2 ke. Now this m you can write in square by doing square. So now lambda is equal to this m you can write under the root by applying square here. So lambda is equal to h into square root of m by 2 ke into m square. Square and root will be cancelled. Again we can get our m as it is. So now here in this form, square and m will be cancelled, guys. And next you can get lambda is equal to h into square root of 1 by 2 ke m. So this one you can finalize like this: h by square root of 2 ke 2 into ke and m. So now this is another form of de Broglie's equation in terms of the kinetic energy. So now guys, for example, if you consider the electron or a charged particle, so the charged particle under the potential difference, or once the potential difference is applied on the charged particle, the kinetic energy is equal to the electron volt. So now here E means charge on the particle or electron, V means volts. Therefore this equation you can write like this: lambda is equal to h by square root of 2 into electron volt and m. So this is another form of the equation. So next guys, the derivation of Bohr's postulate. So according to Bohr's concept, mvr is equal to, that is angular momentum of electron which is moving in a circular path, is equal to nh by 2π. So now this one we can derive from the de Broglie's concept. So now according to Bohr, electron moves in a circular path like this. So now de Broglie told that electron contains wave nature also. So now in this circular path, electron revolves in the form of a wave, or by following a wave path, it revolves around the nucleus. Now you see guys, this is the starting point of electron, and which is moving in the form of a wave, and next you see the ending point also connected with the starting point. If the starting point of the wave and ending point of the wave both are joined, that is known as wave in phase. Now you can see guys here, the starting point of wave and the next one the ending point both are not joined. So here this is known as wave out of phase. So for this wave in phase, the circumference formula 2πr, which is equal to n lambda. N means here positive integer, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Lambda means wavelength, and here wave out of phase. For wave out of phase, this circumference is not equal to the n lambda. Okay, so now we know that from the de Broglie's concept, lambda is equal to h by mv. So now here in this formula, instead of lambda, you can take h by mv. Therefore, 2 pi r is equal to n into h by mv. So now here we can write. So now here we can take this mv you send on left hand side, and next this 2 pi you send on right hand side. Then here mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. So this is angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi. So the next concept, Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So right guys, we know according to Bohr's atomic model, electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular path. This is the nucleus. Now he has given equations to find the velocity of electron and the radius of the electron. Okay. Generally, by using this velocity of electron and radius of electron, it is possible to find the both simultaneously. Okay. So based on Bohr's concept, it is possible to find velocity or momentum. Next one, based on the radius, position of electron, it is possible to find simultaneously. But this concept tells that it is impossible. It is impossible to determine or to find the position and momentum of electron present in an atom simultaneously and accurately. Okay, but we can determine them with a error. With a error, we can determine them. So he given one formula. One formula has been given, that is delta x delta p greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Now here delta x means uncertainty in the position of electron. Uncertainty in the position of electron. In the position of electron. And delta p means uncertainty. Uncertainty in the velocity of, in the momentum of electron. In the momentum of electron. Uncertainty in the momentum of electron. So uncertainty means guys, error in the measurement of position of electron. Here uncertainty in momentum means error in the measuring of momentum of electron. So we can find them with a error, but it is not possible to find them accurately and simultaneously. It is possible to find them with the error. Okay. So next you see guys, in this equation delta p is there. Delta p means uncertainty in the momentum. So now you take the delta p. So now you write it delta, and p means what guys? Momentum. Momentum is nothing but product of mass into velocity. So mass of the electron we can find accurately. Okay. So here there is any uncertainty in the determination of mass of the electron, but there will be the uncertainty in the determination of velocity of electron. Therefore, you can write delta p is equal to, you can write this one like this, m into delta v. So delta v means uncertainty in the velocity of the electron, or error in the measurement of velocity of electron. Now this value you write in this equation instead of delta v. So delta x into m delta v greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Now from this delta x into delta v is equal to greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m. This m has been sent on right hand side. then it will be h by 4 pi m. Now you see guys, from this equation we can say that if mass decreases, uncertainty in the position and uncertainty in the velocity increases. If mass increases, both will be decreased. So now let us consider here two cases. So now guys, let us consider two cases here. In case 1, let me take delta x equal to 0. It means there is no error in the measurement of the position of electron. If there is no any error in the measurement of the position of electron in an atom, let us see what about the uncertainty in the velocity of electron. So you write the equation delta x into delta v greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m. This delta x you send on right hand side. Then delta v greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m into delta x. Delta x value 0 you substitute here. Then delta v greater than or equal to h by 4 pi into 4 pi m into 0. It will be delta v greater than or equal to h by 0. So delta v greater than or equal to infinity. So here if you find position of electron accurately, then the uncertainty in the velocity of electron will be infinity or greater than infinity. Okay, next one, delta v is equal to 0. Write the equation. Now this delta v send on right hand side. Delta x greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m into delta v. Substitute delta v value. Delta x greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m into 0. So delta x greater than or equal to h by 0. Delta x greater than or equal to infinity. So it means guys, if velocity is found accurately, if the uncertainty in the velocity of electron is 0, then the uncertainty in the position will be infinity.